Hello everyone, welcome back to another aging equestrian vlog. It's Logan looking so sleepy this morning. It's very early, it's only about 10 o'clock and they're on night turnout, so he just came in about an hour ago and everybody is literally sleeping. There's Reagan. Sleepy. So somebody is just very blinky. Look at the blinky. You're getting sleepier. You're getting sleepier. Ooh, it's working. Maybe we should try that when we ride, huh? Because I got bucked off 2 days ago. Somebody who has never bucked, except for once when he got super scared, and it was just like a turn and buck. It wasn't like a bronc thing, which is kind of what he did here. It was after a jump, and I'll talk about it in another vlog. I mean, I'm fine, but it was definitely a moment where we were like, what the heck and why? So we're going to change a few things up and see how that works out. But today's vlog is not about me falling off. No, it's not even about you bucking. No, today somebody's getting his feet trimmed, and I thought for a second, and I was like, I don't think we really talked much about barefoot versus shoes, and when you should do one or the other. And I don't have those answers, and they probably aren't finite either. I'm sure it depends on lots of things. I forgot to brush your face, dude. Let me brush your face. Hold on. I forgot to brush it with the soft brush. I forgot to brush it. Yeah, so Logan, he's barefoot. And we decided to do that because of a few different things that were happening. And I think it's all very much individual. You know, as a massage therapist, when people talk to me about, hey, and then I'm not a podiatrist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not someone who can really recommend things for people's feet, but whenever they ask about like barefoot shoes, in addition to saying, you know, check with your chiropractor, your doctor, your podiatrist, I say not everybody should be barefoot. Not everybody is even. Not everybody has feet that do well for them without shoes on. It's just fact of life. So same probably goes for horses, and some of them should not, and they might not do better barefoot. But at this point, he's doing pretty well barefoot, and there was a reason that we went barefoot, and I will tell you about that. He's the kind of horse who you can tell likes to have shoes on if he is in like heavy work, and only front shoes really. But I can tell because he'll free lunge, you know, walk, trot, canter in the ring, and if he doesn't have his boots on, which is what I use now, or shoes, he's just a little more like delicate. He doesn't go all out. He'll actually pick the softest parts of the ring to go to. You'll see him like kind of weave around. He'll avoid the high traffic areas. And when I would ride him without shoes on, he was even more so. Like he did not want to go forward. So that to me says, okay, let's check the feet. So for him, when he first came to me and knowing that I was going to put him back into work, I had him shod. And there are farriers who come here and they're excellent. They do a great job. They've been farriers for, you know, 30 some years. So they really have a lot of experience and know what they're doing. So I just picked one. But when they come, they do a lot of horses. And some days they come, I can't be here. And so what started happening was because Logan had been out of work, I think, and just things were changing with his feet that way and with his body, which will then influence how he lands on his feet and how they are, how they will grow. And, you know, we changed his diet. He was on a different grain. I was giving him different supplements. So things changed a lot, and he started to get really sore in his feet. And then he started to lose the shoes all the time. The farrier would come, put new shoes on, he'd tear them off, like within a week, honest to God, every time. And so he started to really, his feet started to get ripped up, and he just was like lame. And my trainer was like, you know what? I really think a lot of it has to do with his feet. And so what I did was I was like, okay, I'm going to contact people who knew him when he was in work before I got him. That was the first thing. I mean, I looked for history, right? So I went to Emily, his owner, and Karen, who owns the farm where Emily boarded him. She is a barefoot trimmer, and she, in the wintertime, would trim him, and then the farrier would come and shoe him when Emily would work him, but she knew how his feet looked. And so I was like, can you please come up and look at him? Just tell me what you think. And she came up and was like, oh man, his heels are contracted, his right front, like the heel was completely on the ground because he lost so much hoof. And she was like, you know, shoes aren't going to stay on. And, you know, he really needs to grow his hooves. Let's try the barefoot thing. Get some boots if you need to, but like he needs some time to grow his feet. And not everybody shares that kind of opinion that they need time to grow their feet. Sometimes because it's an ouchy time for them, they can have a lot of discomfort when they first go barefoot. I mean, that is pretty logical, right? And so sometimes people don't want them to have that time of discomfort, and that's completely understandable. And I get that. So, you know, I was willing to spend the money on scoot boots, and I do have a video about when we got our scoot boots, right? And we got them fitted to him. And that's just supposed to help him along, but we really just went for the barefoot thing. And he was very uneven. That right front was like a pancake. Like I said, the heel was all the way on the ground, and then the left front, the heel was super contracted, right? And you were just like unhappy. He was very unhappy, and we didn't like that. So we ended up going barefoot. So this was the heel that was really contracted too, I think. And how do you tell, like, when something is contracted? What are you looking for?
Well, you're looking for the frog and
the sulcus?
Yeah, the center sulcus. And his is nice and
spacious.
Yep. And we'll get all this cleaned up. It's been a while since this trim though.
Yeah.
So these look way overdue.
Yeah. They are. So this is Karen, guys, and she is here in her Crocs, and she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed I'm wearing Crocs. And I was basically like, nobody is going to care. They're going to be watching you doing the hoof stuff. And so please don't judge her for her Crocs, because I'm the only one that she comes up to work on. And it doesn't matter. But anyway, so this is what she does. She does a little bit of cleaning up right there. She is taking away some of the bar area. And lo and behold, she found a kind of an icky spot. And that is sort of what it would look like after an abscess. And he did not have an abscess in that foot that I was aware of. And he's pretty much like three-legged lame when he gets an abscess. So I was like, whoa. And she was like, whoa. And yeah, it was like a pocket of kind of yucky stuff. And it smelled a little weird. It smelled a little medicine-y. So I don't know if it was from some of the thrush stuff that I was giving him. Maybe. I'm not sure. But either way, it's kind of good to let those things air out. However, that is a little bit of an opening. So when she was done with his hoof, I definitely packed it with the hoof clay. I think I show that to you later. And make sure that that opening is not, taking in any infection when he was back in his stall until it kind of closes itself up. So she just does a little bit of trimming, and she does really a very good job with the natural angle. And so there you can see him kind of trimmed up in the front, how she took off some, but not a ton. And, she kind of rounds the toes so that he can break over more easily. And these are his back feet, which are generally good, but you can see that on our left there, you can see how he has a little bit of a flare. And that is just kind of the way he wears his feet. And so she'll trim that up a little bit, and at the end we'll kind of see how she gives a little bit of a, almost like a little lift, or a little space, so that the flare doesn't develop as much. And she doesn't take a lot off. She really leaves a lot of the frog, which is their absorption area. She's pretty conservative with everything, especially because he does get sore when you take too much. So, you know, she really understands what the horse is like and takes that into account. And she does a really great job. She really has changed his whole hoof outline and outlook, and he's really growing some good hooves now. And you can see here, I'm pointing there to where the flare was, and so she's continuing to kind of take the flare down and off so he can have a better surface. Yeah, and this is what she does. It doesn't take very long, and it is, I have to say, more cost effective, obviously, than getting shoes put on every time. However, as I said before, not everybody is a candidate for being barefoot, and you should definitely talk to your vet and a farrier and a trimmer about it, just to make sure. Because it's super important that you're doing what's right for the horse's feet. Because no hoof, no horse, right? Right. So that is it for today. Say bye, Logan. Bye, buddy. All right, so thanks for tuning in, and remember to like or subscribe and comment if you have any questions.